Welcome back to the Action Zone. You're watching Undisputed Wrestling Desk, where WWE comes alive. Subscribe and get ready for the latest updates. The arena was alive with thunderous excitement as fans packed the stadium for one of the biggest matches in recent WWE memory, a dream showdown for the WWE Championship between CM Punk and Jey Uso. The energy was electric, the commentary team was dialed in, and the stakes were sky high. The title had been left vacant after weeks of turmoil, and tonight was supposed to be the night WWE began a new era. But no one knew what kind of storm was about to hit. Just when the match reached its dramatic peak, everything exploded into chaos. Members of a new ruthless faction known as the Vision, led by Bron and Bronson crashed into the ring with steel chairs and destruction in their eyes. The match came to an abrupt end, the arena erupted in boos, and suddenly WWE wasn't just witnessing a title match anymore. It was witnessing a declaration of war. The build-up, a champion falls. This all began a week earlier on Monday Night Raw when Seth Rollins, the beloved and battle-worn workhorse of WWE, stepped into the ring with his arm in a sling and heartbreak in his voice. After carrying the World Heavyweight Championship through sheer grit and pain, his injured shoulder had finally forced him to relinquish the title. Fans around the world watched as Rollins laid down the championship not out of weakness, but out of necessity. But before stepping backstage, Rollins warned WWE that unfinished business remained. The faction known as the Vision, led by the brutal duo Bron and Bronson had launched relentless attacks on Rollins, targeting not only his title but his legacy. Breakker made it clear, this wasn't about championships anymore. It was about erasing Seth Rollins from WWE history. But if the Vision thought Rollins would go quietly, they were dead wrong. CM Punk versus Jey Uso. The dream match begins with Rollins out and the World Heavyweight title vacated. Triple H wasted no time announcing a blockbuster main event for Saturday Night Main Event. CM Punk versus Jey Uso for the WWE Championship. The announcement rocked the WWE Universe. Punk had returned to WWE to prove he still belonged at the top, while Jey Uso had fought his way out of his bloodline past to earn respect as a single star. Their matchup wasn't just about a championship, it was about pride, perseverance, and destiny. The bell rang, and for 20 straight minutes, fans were treated to a wrestling masterpiece. Punk brought technical mastery, countering everything Jey threw at him. Jey matched Punk's intensity with explosive superkicks and heart. Punk locked in the Anaconda Vice. Jey fired back with a Uso splash. Neither man backed down. The crowd was split, half chanting CM Punk, the other half shouting Main Event Jey, and the energy was unreal. Then everything changed, the Vision attacks. As Jey lined up for another superkick, the arena lights flickered and died. In an instant, Bron tore down the entrance ramp and speared Jey Uso so hard the ring shook. Bronson hit a devastating splash from the second rope, flattening CM Punk. The crowd unleashed a storm of boos as the Vision unleashed a violent assault. Breakker smashed Jey with a steel chair while Reed crushed Punk into the corner. Referees and officials tried to intervene, but they were thrown aside like toys. This wasn't a cheap attack. This was a calculated message. The Vision wanted to end anyone who stood in their path, and they wanted to do it in front of the world. The return. A moment that shook WWE. Suddenly, the screen went black. Static filled the Titantron. A cold silence swept through the arena. Then a voice was heard. Deep, powerful, familiar. The arena exploded. Roman Reigns walked through the smoke, calm and terrifying. Eyes locked on the ring like a predator. But he wasn't alone. Beside him, wearing a taped shoulder and a fearless grin, was Seth Rollins. The tribal chief and the visionary had returned together. The unthinkable had just happened. Two rivals, brothers in history, men whose careers had been defined by betrayal and battle, were now standing side by side once again. Together, united. A storm was coming. The destruction of the Vision. Breakker and Reed froze. They thought they ran WWE. They thought they were unstoppable, but they had just awakened two hungry wolves. Roman Reigns entered the ring and Bron charged, but it was a mistake. Roman unleashed a devastating spear that sent Breakker crashing into the mat. The crowd roared. Bronson turned, only to be caught by a vicious curb stomp from Seth Rollins. In seconds, the Vision's takeover became a massacre. Reigns and Rollins stood tall over the bodies of Breakker and Reed, while CM Punk and Jey Uso looked on in stunned disbelief. It was chaos, it was shocking, and it was historic. The tribal chief and the visionary had returned. A message to WWE, Roman Reigns grabbed a microphone, and the crowd erupted into chants of OTC, OTC exclamation mark, dash a throwback to their legendary past. Roman didn't smile. He didn't pose. He stared into the hard camera and delivered a cold warning. The Vision wanted to tear this place apart, but tonight, we fight back. Seth took the mic next, his voice sharp and full of fire. You can't destroy a vision that helped build WWE. The two titans looked at each other, not as rivals, but as warriors united by respect. Roman extended a nod. Seth nodded back. That moment alone sent chills across the world. Whatever differences they once had, tonight they stood together. Backstage reactions. Backstage, cameras followed the fallout. Triple H and Adam Pearce scrambled to restore order. Medical staff checked on Braun Breaker and Reed, who were enraged and vowing revenge. Meanwhile, Roman and Seth walked backstage like conquering kings. Reporters swarmed them, asking if this was a one-night return. Roman looked into the camera and said, "We're here when this place needs us." Tonight, it needed saving. Seth followed. The Vision just got burned. Then they walked away. No music, no celebration, just silent destruction. Social media explodes. Within minutes, the internet was on fire. Shield Brotherhood, Chio acknowledge us, Chilgra ring to reality, and Roman and Seth trended worldwide. CM Punk posted, "You don't have to like your past, but sometimes it saves you." Jey Uso shared the moment Roman helped him up inside the ring, writing, "Family or not." Respect fans immediately started fantasy booking the future. Was this the beginning of a new super team? A revival of the Shield? Or something even bigger? What comes next? With Survivor Series approaching, rumors are flying about a possible 4 versus 4 war. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Jey Uso versus The Vision, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and 2 mystery allies. If that match happens, WWE could be on the verge of creating a new legendary alliance. Not the Shield, not the Bloodline, but something new, built on survival, respect, and power. One thing is certain, WWE has changed forever.